Before I get into this video, I actually just wanted to say thank you to all of you that have been viewing and liking and commenting. Just want to say thank you, and let's get into the video. Number 1. There is a ghost of a boy who lives in our house that our guests have seen. We rent from the original owner, and there is no bad history, but at least a dozen people that we have invited over have seen him walking around upstairs. I leave my phone on the nightstand at night, and I often find hundreds of scribbles open on a notepad when I wake up. It happens constantly. Number 2. One night, when my daughter was 2.5 years old, we were home alone talking right before bed. We were playing a game where we gave all of her stuffed animals silly names. She went to name the last one. She asks, "What's her name?" I said something along the lines of, "Who, honey? We already named everyone." She then points to the blank wall and says, "That little girl." Now, I don't know if it was just an active imagination or something else. All I know is it freaked me the fuck out enough to sleep with the lights on for the next few weeks. I'll make sure to post updates if anything else happens. Number 3. I live alone in an old house in the historic district of Memphis. I'd often get woken up in the middle of the night to hearing country music coming from the radio. I don't listen to country music, and my radio had a dial. I'd have to change the dial back to my normal station while I was getting ready for work in the morning. It still shocks me every time it happens. Number 4. One night my mom heard a crash noise in our kitchen, but figured I was up and dropped something. The next morning my dad walked downstairs and thought there was ice on the kitchen floor, but he said after looking at it, the ice was melting. It was glass shards. They cleaned up the glass, which was on the floor, countertops, and even under the lip of the countertops along the top of the drawers and cabinets. It was as if someone stood back and threw glass at the wall or something. We had no idea what it was from. The glass was too thick to be anything of vases, glasses, or some of the bowls that we had in the house. We had a huge family meeting in the kitchen trying to figure out where this glass came from and what happened. We still have no idea. Nothing was ever broken. We looked, we checked everything, but there was just nothing. Number 5. I'm sure there was a ghost playing tricks on me. One evening I was watching TV while sitting on the sofa. I had a rubber band in my hand and flicked it across the room in an arc behind the TV. Next thing I know, it drops on my head. There wasn't enough power for it to bounce back off the wall. I have no idea how it ended up hitting me in the head. I don't know what scares me more, shocks me. Getting hit in the head, or trying to find out what threw it back. Number 6. I have memories as a young child in a certain house. Several very bizarre things happened. I have no logical explanation for them. The best I can do to explain them logically is hilarious, because nobody will believe them. But I have never experienced anything away from that home. The oddest one to me had to do with my new wallpaper. We had changed it. It had dinosaurs on it now. I would see the dinosaurs marching around and killing each other at night. This happened during the same time every night for several nights until we took it down. Items used to get moved around, thrown around on their own. A particular favorite was the rocking chair. It would change positions and rock. One night, my grandparents were staying over. I awoke to find someone I didn't know in the chair who looked strange. A stuffed animal walked one time. That one kind of freaked me the fuck out. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. There was also one time that I awoke with scratches that looked like nails. Maybe it was my fucked up child brain, but I don't remember it that way. The scratches were really strange, but once I moved out, none of this continued. It was like it never happened. I didn't have one more experience. It was just like the snap of your fingers, and it just stopped. Number 7. I went to a Lincoln exhibit when I was very young. There was a rocking chair, and as soon as I saw it, I saw a woman in a dress with brown hair knitting something and rocking in the chair. After 2 seconds, the image vanished. I honestly thought that it was my imagination, except the image was way too vivid and too clear. I've never seen anything like it since, and I really don't want to again. Number 8. When I lived in Minnesota, I would go over to my friend's house a lot. One day, I was sitting on the couch watching TV, and I heard a girl screaming in my right ear. It was like she was screaming at the top of her lungs, but the volume was turned down, so it wasn't a true volume of a scream. There was nothing there, obviously, so I just wrote it off. Well, a week or so later, one of the guys whipped his head around and said, "I just heard a girl screaming." We both knew there was no one else in the house. I didn't hear a girl screaming, but then neither did anyone else when she screamed in my ear. I don't think she was mean or bad or anything like that. I honestly feel like she was sad, lonely, wanting attention. I felt bad that I couldn't just reach out to her and help. Number 9. I was late night gaming. My dog was hanging out with me and started to bark into the dark bedroom. When I went to check it out, I could hear fingernails scratching inside of my bedroom closet. As I got closer, the scratches started getting quieter. Then, the sound stopped when I was right in front of the closet. Stuff started hitting inside the closet door. I ran outside. No way I was going to stay in that house alone. 30 minutes go by and my buddy comes over to check on everything, and then finds me standing outside in the dark. I opened up the closet to find all of my clothes and hangers all over the floor on the closet. We searched every wall and ceiling for any secret openings or doorways or some type of passage, but nothing was there. That one still gives me chills every time I think about it. Number 10. When I was younger, I was helping my aunt clean an office she was hired to clean. And lots of stuff happened there. The one that spooked me the most was when we were emptying out the trash can while my aunt vacuumed and my brother did the dishes. Suddenly a man's voice whispered in my ear. Kind of like he was playing with like a toy gun. We were the only people there. I turned, and there was nothing. Number 11. One day when my daughter was 2, we were having a typical terrible twos moment. She was throwing a bit of a tantrum for about 5 to 10 minutes, and we couldn't get her under control. At some point, she rather suddenly stopped and started staring at the wall, and then slightly started giggling. It was weird. One second she was crying and screaming, and the next second she was just smiling and happy. Then she started saying "funny lady" over and over. We asked her who she saw, and she pointed to the wall and said, "The funny lady." When we asked her to describe who she saw, she described my deceased grandmother. I mean, exactly described her. She never met her, and I don't think we even had pictures around the house. Not that a 2-year-old could even remember a picture like that. I'm not much of a believer in the paranormal, but I know my daughter saw and got to meet my mom, and that makes me really happy. When I told this story to my parents, they didn't seem as shocked as I was. When I tried to get a response from them, they looked at me and said, "I guess you don't remember that you met your grandfather when you were 3. The same exact thing happened to me 30 years ago. Number 12. Before my dad and stepmom married, she'd come over and the hangers in the front closet would rattle non-stop while she was there. The clothes would be all over the floor when she left. Taking the hangers out would do no good. We emptied the entire closet once, and the door would just shake violently right when my stepmom would come in. I don't understand this. Number 13. I was once showering with the door locked when I heard the blinds fall down. It freaked me out, so I pulled the shower curtain back to investigate. I'm thinking maybe one of my brothers was trying to break in and pull like a prank on me or something. So I pulled the blinds up to look out the window. The window was completely fogged over from the inside, minus one large, solitary handprint. I was scared as hell, finished up my shower, and told my family members. We all compared our handprints. No one was big enough. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Once again, I want to tell all of you, thank you for all of the love that you guys have been giving me. Like I usually say, I'm going to try to stay consistent. And hopefully between 2 to 3 days, I'll always have a post. And also, make sure to go check out my links in the description. My Twitter and Instagram links are in the description as well. And just give me a follow if you want to, or if you want to have updates or get any notices before the videos come out. So, once again, I'll see you in the next one.